Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. I had some time to do a live stream. I know it's not the best time, so maybe you can watch it later. But I did want to get this in and see where things are because we got a lot of volatility in the last week or so, and it's creating opportunities all over the market if you look hard enough. I don't think the opportunities are actually in the indices itself, except for the Dow right now, but we'll have to wait and see. So let me go ahead and just jump into some of your questions. So we'll start with Vale, and we'll go from there and see what you guys want to talk about tonight or this afternoon. Let's see. What looks like it's something we haven't done before. Let's take a look at Vale here. Higher time frame. So you can probably see the grand supercycle advance, and we've corrected in 3 waves, and now we have come off that low in 3 swings. And here you have some kind of triangle consolidation, right? So what is going on with this? It looks like to me, just looking at it, uh, typically a triangle like this is a 4 wave or an X wave or a B wave of some kind. That's what typically that means. Usually the other is it's some kind of super bullish 1-2-1-2 type of setup as long as this low holds. So the RSI at the weekly level, you can clearly see the cycle ended here, and then you had a cycle end here, 2 different cycles, and now you're in another cycle reset here. So I would label it more bullish because if this is a connector wave for this for this leg, then essentially it's going to zero, right? It's going bankrupt. So you're saying that's not likely. So if it's not going bankrupt, then you have to go with the more bullish count, which is a 1-2-1-2 setup. I mean, there really is no other count that I can see right now. Now, if this low breaks at 11.18, there will be a buy opportunity against this peak at 9.19 against this low at 6.25. So right around here. So right now we could see it could be in this count, ready to pump at any moment, or we get another drop, which kind of seems likely, right? It kind of seems like this is probably where we're going with it. And taking this peak out in the RSI, but we need to keep this peak. If we take this peak out, then we could be in much more bearish scenario. So I think right now I would just leave it labeled this way. This right here, if I look at it, looks like 5 down on impulse up, or a 3-wave move up, an impulse down again, and 3 moves up again. So A, B, C, and a connector, and we come down. So I think it's more than likely we're going to come down here, and then perhaps you get this wave 3 later. That's probably the most likely path, but you'll have to do what's best for you. Okay, let's go to ODD. ODD here. Audacy Tech, that's a new one. Another new one. Not a lot of chart data, which makes it hard to get this done. So right away, you see you have that lower low right there. That's the market tip in its hand where we want to go long term. So I would be really careful being bullish with this lower low right here on this swing. So we could see a three-wave move, and so more than likely what we'll see play out here is something like that, and we drop to 18 to 10. And then you could see either a low for new all-time highs, or at least a relief rally. But right here, to me, is in a good area to buy it in. Even though you do see three swings here, this swing is impulsive down. So I just would leave it like alone. But there really is not enough chart data to forecast it properly right now. But if I was trading it, I wouldn't want to try to buy it here against this three swings. I would want to just wait and see if I can get this, later, and keep it on my watch list. And hey, if I come back one day and it's down in this area, then maybe I want to pick it up. Okay, let's go to HWM. Another new one for us. Let's see, this one looks like more bullish. Aerospace company. So here you had a flat correction, right? You had a flat correction. And now you're in some kind of wave of three. So more than likely wave 3 is about to end at any moment, and we'll get wave 4. And so we need to look at the shorter cycle to see if that wave 3 is coming to an end. So here you see that no divergence. We've extended the daily cycle. From here you had 1 cycle, 2, 3, and they've all extended. So it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So wave 3 should continue to extend to the upside. And where would I place the wave 2 lows? Let's go back to the weekly cycle here. So I'd probably put a 2 here and a 2 here if I was labeling it. Something like that. So this is buy the dip in 3 waves. So we can even go to the shorter cycles like the 4-hour and see where could I dip buy this wave 4. And it looks like it's in a dip buy area right now for potential swing low here. So it's finding buyers, and I believe this is where it will reverse, and you can get the 4s and 5s to play out. Or if you're really lucky, it continues to extend divergence and takes this peak out, and this becomes another 1, 2. I wonder what this one does. Is so everyone wants it so bad. I wonder why it's so bullish. It looks like to me, yeah, it's not really clear to me why everyone wants it so bad. But whatever it's doing pretty well. So yeah, here you go. So this cycle should continue to extend in a series of 3, 4s, and 5s. But when this 3 ends, this 4, look how long this wave 2 took. This wave 4 will take a long time to consolidate, a long time, and then you get a 5th wave, and then you get a big pullback. So once the 4 and 5s are confirmed, the easy money is over. It's sideways action, which is traders action, and that's kind of how it works. Unless you can get some extension out of it. But anyway, that's how I look at this HWM. All right, hey man, thanks for the super chat, Crypto Mickey. Yeah, let's look at the GDXU. I had looked at the GDXJ last video, and we're in the pullback. We could double correct it, which obviously hurts the GDXU. But let's see where did I have that commodities here: copper, uranium, silver, gold. There it is. Okay, so short. This is a shorter cycle. So this played out perfectly, right? We called the B and we called this impulse up, and that's what it's been doing, guys. I mean, and I could put the 3 here, I could put the 4 here, and the 5 here for that first impulse. So that's how I would label this. And so we're pulling back in wave 2 now. So wave 2, you know, could go in a lot of different directions. Because it hit the wave 4 cluster here, it could be finished already. It could be finished already here. Let's look at the 4-hour cycle. So this isn't a good enough reset on the cycle here. So this is telling me I would not be surprised to get another drop. So I would say it's expected to almost double correct. I would not be surprised to get this double correction, but it should be supported at 27.38 for another entry for long positions, for another pretty good move higher. That's how I would look at this right now. And of course the stop area would be $20. So this is the area, but you see this advance is over, and we have where the cycle ended, right? The cycle ended. 5 waves are ended, so not surprised. But this cycle should continue on for quite a while, is what I'm thinking. But there'll be ups and downs along the way. If we do take out this low here, that's obviously very bearish for gold miners. That would be probably very bullish for the dollar and probably very bearish for the market. And I would really have to throw our forecast off where the market is heading. So I don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening. But you have to do what's best for you. I'm still long GDX. My miners, I have no intention of selling them, and I'll just hold my position. But you do what's best for you. Let's see how the OMX S30 is doing here. How has that been going here? Almost hit our sell area. We just missed it. But it looks like this is that 4 wave. We're in that 4 wave now, and we're in the 5th wave. Should come soon. So we're in this 4 wave. It's pretty clear. This is a classic 4 wave. It's all overlapping. It's sideways. This is what you normally see in a 4 wave, guys. And here you have a connector. This lower low sequence does not look good to me here. It looks like it's got more downside in wave 4 here. You know, I'll use this as my maybe 2470, 2452, and you could try to go long for that 5th wave bounce. But I do caution bears. If you're trying to get cute, to time this, to put in X, it can always extend and blow our chart up. The reason we have it in this massive corrective cycle is this low here did not show that capitulation we need to see. But we have seen at times the market bottom with a triangle low. So just keep that in mind. So we got to be careful. It's not just a one, you know, a 1 2 1 2, and again that it would actually be an ABC. I have to, you know, be more precise with my labeling there. But got to be careful. It's not a 1 2, and then you know 1 2 3 4 5. So it could be a new bullish bull market, right? So I still only like to buy this, even though this area that I have shaded should end this entire cycle, and then you could get a much bigger pullback even if it is bullish. So just this is a warning here that the cycle since you know, where are we here, since this October would end. Just keep that in mind. Now, what's also interesting is we only have 3 up here, and we did take this peak out, so we could label this in a different way and call it a flat, and we just crash. But we'll want to stop out at 24.18, and we probably want to see a weekly cycle break in the RSI to relabel it and call the X in. So I would be keeping an eye on the weekly cycle, which as you can see is nowhere close to breaking. Look, way, nowhere close. So this is telling me the chances of the super duper flat crash is probably not likely. But do what's best for you. This is where I see it. Okay, let's jump in. Malmer for 5. Let's go into some of your symbols. DDS is a stock. Okay, let's look at that one real quick. Here. Dillard's, retail. Retail's been doing okay. People are confused why. And the reason is I think GLP-1s are forcing people to go buy new clothes. I've heard people having to buy 2, 3, 4 sets of jeans even. So I don't think people even recognize the GLP-1 effect yet in retail. But regardless, so Dillard's looks like to me you have a new high. So we need to see where we are in the cycle. The cycle here ended a major cycle here at this low. And then you had another one, your wave 3, 4, divergence. So you're in a 5th wave of the 3rd wave of the grand super cycle right now that should be coming to an end. So it looks like to me you've got something like this coming. This cycle looks pretty much done. And I would be waiting for this 5th wave to end. And so the question is, when does it end? Here, so we could use a couple areas to time the end of the cycle, and you could see we nailed it exactly in reverse. So more than likely, Dillard's grand super cycle wave 3 has ended, and we are now in a wave 4 decline that could take prices all the way back down to these levels over the next couple years. So that's how I see it for right now. And let's look at the shorter cycle to see if this wave 5 has ended. It looks like we have ended it. So either wave 5 extends, and this is just wave 2 of 5, right? And we push higher, or it's over. So that's how I'd look at it. So if we do come down and start to come out, then just wave 5 is extending, and then I would label this as like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would just say like maybe it's a short sell positions against 478, but if 478 is taken back out, I would be careful going short, and we could see an extension, but I do think we've got this coming up. Next one is, let's see here, crypto stocks. Let's see, I have a couple of these cryptos here. LRC here. That's a new one to me. So when you see charts like this, you're really just trading off the all-time low, right? You can't really trade that chart very easily, and as you could see, it's just 3 swings. That's corrective, so the bearish advance could continue. And let me get a better chart. That was not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So let's take a look. A little bit different picture, right? Okay, so looking at it here, it looks like to me you have a 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like it's going to push down in a 5th wave. Although, again, looking at the higher time frame, no divergence on the peak. So to me, it's a corrective move. So we'd have to label it in 3 waves, a 3-wave cycle. So to me, this is your 3rd wave here. 1, 2, and then right, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. So yeah, you're bullish off of this low. You have to have this low hold, or the bull advance is negated, and it could collapse rapidly. But right now, it looks like to me it's in some kind of second wave. I won't label this. This could become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have time to label it all, but more than likely you're in a wave 2. You should come out. You see the 3 swing move here, and the buy area is probably right where it is right now on the long side. As you could see, the wick hit it exactly and bounced. So more than likely, that's your trade-in pivot at 21 cents and the low is in. And we should start to see this come out and eventually short squeeze and get a wave 3 out of this mess. If we can't do that, then it could unravel quickly. Do what's best for you on that. CGLD, is that some kind of gold equivalent crypto? Or what is that? Okay, it's some, I don't know what it is. Half of these coins, I don't know what it is. So this is another one. We'll just say it's bullish off of this low. It looks like it pulled back in 3. Again, really nice setup for a potential wave 3 out. There's a lot of altcoins, guys, showing wave 3's coming. Wave 3's coming. And again, this one, though, did not hit the buy area, so we could still see a drop to 55 cents. So this one's not as clean as the others. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, so this one isn't as clean, 54.9. So don't be surprised if we see another dip. But if we do, this is the buy area. It's tough to say. Could it already be finished? We don't know. The next one you have is Litecoin. Litecoin, I hadn't looked at that in a while, but it's been doing okay, right? Hasn't Litecoin been doing okay? Yeah. So we have it in a 1, 2, 1, 2. So this was a crash correction. This was an easy buy using my system if you wanted to buy it, because the way I always mention, you have a clear 5-wave move up that's pretty obvious to see. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is like textbook Elliott wave. Anytime you have these kind of wave structures, the market loves to go between the 4 and the 2, and that's where you found support, literally exactly halfway between it, and you V-bottomed. So more than likely, we are in the wave 3 advance has started, and we should come out of this. So that's Litecoin. All right, thanks for the super chat. Let's go to the next one. I'll go to Mitso, Disney, Zoom, Snap. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at these. I'll get to all the super chats, by the way, guys. Disney here. Okay, so Disney, we called this shallow wave 2, but now look at this price action. Could this be a flat as well in wave 2? More than likely it is, like the market. Because again, it's too shallow, right? It's so shallow. And we did see that cycle reset. So we are in a flat correction. Flats are very vicious because it confuses many traders that don't know what's going on, because it's an erratic market. But if you understand Elliott waves, you won't get fooled, because it's clear, because you broke this high, the setup is still there. Eventually, no matter wherever this C leg ends, we will be higher, more than likely in the future, if you can hold through this flat. But as you can see, the flat has a lot of, you have a gap here. So the problem with the flat is it can just keep dropping. There's no limit to the C leg. There's no real good way unless you try to do the Elliott wave swings. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be a run-in flat and be finished. There's really no way to tell when the C leg ends, other than I do find that typically if you do this extension, you could do the 1, 2, 3, 6 here, and you could usually see sometimes a lot of support at 105, 100. So this is probably an area where it could find buyers again, to end the flat, and then go into wave 3. Let's go to the next one, Zoom video. How's that one doing? I knew we were worried about it because it broke that major downtrend line. As we could see, we had the two-wave move, a counter trend rally. We failed that. As long as we hold this low, we're okay. It looks like though we broke it, and we did break this low. So if I was trading it, I would have bought it here and stopped out right around now. And I think there is a good reason to use your stop loss. But let's see. If you're really aggressive on the long side, you really need this low to hold. It has not broke yet at 58. So if that breaks, you could expect a lot of downside, because what that tells me is this wave 5, we have it as a diagonal. It won't be a diagonal anymore. This is going to be like something like a 1 2 1 2, and you'll get 3 of 3. So I would be really careful trading this if this low breaks. And that's my update on Zoom. Snapchat. Where do I have Snapchat? I think I have it in social media. We called the Y wave, perfect timing, and we're going down. So this is a very dangerous chart for the company. Like Shopify, you only have a 3-wave move up right now. You need a 5th wave. You need a 5th wave. If you don't get that, this is in a lot of trouble. I don't know why it would go below this low at 7, but it's saying that it's possible. I don't like trading it without the 5th wave. I don't like trading this here. 3 swings. And then we had a 4 and a 5. So we have an impulse down here, guys. I mean, to me, in a connector with a lower low, this is real messy. This is real messy. I mean, I'll just label it as I see it right now. Something like that. And then it looks like to me a retest of this low is coming. This X could even be here, but I think more than likely we'll see a little more upside in this. I'd like to see it pump a little bit more, maybe to 13. But because of this situation here, more than likely it will fail and go lower. So I'll just leave it at that for now. As you could see, the cycle here reset. I don't like calling it 5 waves, so I look at it this way. So perhaps we'll get a 3-wave bounce, like something like this, and then we'll get another 3 up later. This could become a massive connector that goes over many years, right? This could be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, connector, and then game over. So just keep that in mind. Because that's how we're moving in a very corrective manner. We need to see some kind of impulsive action to the upside, and we're just not getting it. We're just not getting it. In Snap, YNN is good for now because of the Hang Seng setup. I do believe it's about to hit a wave 3, and we should be ending this wave 2 at any moment. Here, so we were a little short of the area. So, if I look, maybe there's a little bit more downside, maybe to 1745, 1665 in this area, somewhere around here. But if I look at the Hang Seng, there's a chance it's already bottomed. Yeah, maybe the 4-hour cycle will pull it down more. I mean, it's okay. I was really looking at Baidu, and I was trying to really get the swings. It almost looked like you do get a bounce and one more low. So maybe there is one more low out there in China, just like once minor, you know, minor dip left, but we'll know next week. I think we'll know how this plays out next week, guys. And then that's it. All right, let's go to the next super chat. Wow, I'm getting some big super chats, and again, I will get to all of them. Even you know, so I will get to all of them. So let me go to DKK for the 50. Thanks again, man. I will look at some of these other ones. And like I said, not too familiar with them, but I'll do my best to chart those for you here. Nell, I'm not. I would assume this is it. Yeah, it looks like we've done this one here at one point. So let's take a look. Somewhere in here. Let's see here. JK, let's see here. No. Well, whatever. I'll just retype it in. I'm not sure why it came up. All right. So back where we are. So we were looking for the fifth wave, right? Looking for that fifth wave. We got the four wave. More than likely that four wave is done here. And looking at this, you know, A, B, C, you know, don't really care. So we're in the fifth wave. It looks like we're in the fifth wave. But bigger picture, this is all binary, right? So this is like you're accumulating for a much bigger run later. But I do think it does, like, I want to see that low break to finish out that series, the swing, you know, and that gets you down to this area, 3.75, $3.75 right here. So let's take a look. Look at that. Yeah, that 4-hour cycle really broke. But you have to go see what you got to do is go back to the bigger, larger degree cycles. Now you look, you see this cycle, this entire cycle here did break, right? It did break on this pump. We did have divergence at this low. So what that also tells me, actually, just kind of looking at things, more than likely, that's probably the proper way to label it. Now, the RSI system isn't infallible. It has, you know, it's not 100%. So I do want to show you this idea. If we do break this low, I don't expect a lot of downside, but it wouldn't surprise me that this is finished and we're in a wave 2 off this low in some kind of wave 2 bottom that really could bottom on the shorter cycle at any moment. Yeah, it may even be like a lead-in diagonal, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 even, and then you come back down and out. At the chart as I see it right now, this is how I would label it. Do what's best for you. It could also, I could put the 1 here and put this as an A, B, C. And it holds the low. So a lot of possibilities. But you'll have to do what's best for you on that. But it's close. It looks like it's close to the end here. NSCOG, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that here. So this is a little bit different. So right away I see a flat. And with the flat, as you can see, you have your 1, 2, and then another 1, 2, maybe 3, 4. Let's take a look here. So let's just verify. So this peak wasn't taken out here. So looking at it again, it looks like a 5-wave move down off the low. So I would say it's bearish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This fifth wave should be ending. We should be getting a pump soon. But because it's 5, it's probably going to pump and fail. All right. Now, that's how I would look at this right now. And see here, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So it's only really corrective off this low. So be really careful that it doesn't bounce and just keep going down and you go into reverse split hell. But I do think this is probably ready for a pretty good relief rally. And it looks like it may have already started off this low at 32. Entering a wave 3 of some kind. Normally, these relief rallies should come back at some point and tag the wave 4 cluster, which is 48. And then we'll have to reassess it. But more than likely, it seems to me that this wave 5 is over in that. And these two broke their lows. Are they dead? IDX, SOL. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at those and see. Let's take a look at IDX. You just never know. So yeah, I really hate seeing that happen, but let's see. Now this, I mean, this thing has always been in a bear. I mean, it's never been bullish in the history of the company, right? So are we surprised it broke the low? Like, we shouldn't be surprised it broke the low because it's never been bullish ever. So whatever's happening inside the company is bearish, right? They're just not getting their shit together, right? They just, for whatever reason, or they're selling stock to raise money, and it's just a cash register, and shareholders are getting screwed on it. So this to me is a massive connector wave, right? This is a C leg, so I mean, I don't have to label it. We're in an impulse down now, right, off of this low. So the question is like, where's your Fibonacci support for potential bounce play if you want to try to do that? Let's take a look here. My guess is, and again, we may not even get that. See here, negative numbers. So this thing's got a reverse split coming. It's got a reverse split coming. But if you look at this cycle, you're going to get a counter trend rally soon, right? You're going to get a counter trend rally out of this mess. You got divergence on the weekly, so you're in a wave 5 of whatever this is. This is wave 5 mode. I would be watching this weekly cycle here. And when this thing breaks the weekly cycle downtrend, I'd be looking for a counter trend rally pump. Okay, but this thing will get faded. So this pump, however high it goes, is going to get faded, and it'll just keep continuing lower. But I do think it looks to me very dangerous to be short right now. This is in a weekly cycle, wave 5, that needs a relief rally, right? Needs a relief rally. And here's your wave 4 high, right? Where's your wave 4 right here? $11, $12. You could see a spike up, a relief rally. Why the hell is it going up and no one knows why? One day you wake up and it's like pumping and no one knows why. It's being pumped on Twitter, a reverse split, let's go in it. That's what this is going to become, like one of these meme, Twitter plays to get, to juice it. So just keep an eye on that if you're into that kind of trading. But investment, yeah, it's dead. This company's not something I'd ever invest in. But let's go to the other one, SOL here. What is that in? Is that in OMX? Let's see if I can find it here. Is that it? I think I went by it. No, that's SOLT. I'm not seeing it unless this is what you want. Soltech Energy. I just don't. I don't see the exchange, but if you put it in the notes to help clarify it, I'll come back to it. But thanks for the super chat. All right, so I'll go to the next one here that I got for 20 here. Bama. Let's take a look. Aris Mining. ARMN. Okay, let's take a look at ARMN, guys. Let's take a look at this one. All right, well, looks like it's a new one for us. So mining stocks are, I think, are bullish, guys. They've been in a secular bear market, and I do think they're coming to life again. So this is some kind of flat, right? So we probably bottomed here. Yeah, see, there's your bottom. So we bottomed here in a flat with divergence. So that is what I want to see. And now we're in a new bull market, right? Bull cycle. So now we're coming out of this. Here, you know, I'm not going to label all the swings, but it looks like to me we're about to hit a wave 3 of 3, guys, in this. Like most of the miners are pretty bullish, right? So I don't really need to label it any further than that, but it should continue higher. Now, there's always pullbacks, sure, right? There's always pullbacks, but big picture, I see it going higher here, and not sure, you know, what the glitch in trading view is, but whatever. So we'll just wait and see where we end up here. So this was some flat here, and then you have a 1-2. There's your 4, 5. So this cycle is almost over, but this would be another 1-2, I think. You know, something like that. So we should be seeing a pullback here. We should be seeing a pullback. And then out. So we'll see a pullback. That's what I think will come in that. Yeah, silver. Yeah, silver, just be patient. Let the market come to you. I think silver gives you your opportunities if you're patient and you have the long game in mind and not trying to day trade it. I mean, if you get this dip, this could be an area to pick up some more, right? To play more here. You have to know where your stop is, right? Because I did show a much more bearish situation in the metals with the 3 waves up and the 3 waves up. Like, you can't ignore that, but that would be a collapse in the market, guys. That would be like a complete 180 from where we are right now. So we need to just, but hey, we always respect the possibilities, right? We never say never. It's just not likely. Because there's a lot of people that miss this move that want to get back in, so they'll take advantage of this dip and get back in. That's what will happen. Okay, let's go to the next super chat here. I did GDXU already. I just want to go to the smaller ones to make sure I get everybody. I got Mitsos, I got Bama. I will go to Mara real quick. I'll do Mara because I know a lot of people like that Mara one. So here's the thing with the miners. Like, I'm waiting for a good setup, and I'm looking at this 5 swings off the low, an A, B, and now we're in C. Now we have this counter trend rally. Okay, we have this counter trend rally coming. Could it be finished here? That would be super bullish. Now, there's a lot there. You could try to make that case. Well, here's the wave 4 cluster. You hit it. It just didn't reach the extension. You got this nice RSI reset with the curve up. It looks like you're about to break the RSI cycle. So clearly, this is a swing that's finished. But what I would caution you is it doesn't morph in, and it would be pretty likely you get something like this, and like this. And this actually lines up with Bitcoin that I have doing something like wave 5, peak, and then major pullback, probably all the way back down to these areas here. So when we get this, so Bitcoin could be sideways for a while, like this, and that could like play around with Mara folks and all these other stocks. But it looks like to me, if Bitcoin is going to rally in this 5th wave, I wouldn't be surprised if all these get a nice relief rally, and I think that's what we're seeing in Mara. So we're seeing the structure morph into something like this now. we're going to see it morph into this. And so, but it does look like the daily cycle has is ended, the correction. It does look like that, right? But it's, what I like, maybe let's see how, what happens on Monday. We haven't broke it just yet, but it looks, the stochastic RSI is wide open and, looks like to me we're going to get a pretty good bounce. But my guess, and again, I could be wrong, this will be a FOMO trap, and then some kind of rug pull event here. Some kind of rug pull event. This also may line up with the dollar index, guys, too. Like the dollar index, if we are pulling back in D, this would be really bullish for crypto. We peak in Bitcoin and Mara, and then we sell off again for some reason. And then we stop. The wave 2 is over. Mara finally hits its bottom, and then it's like the crazy cycle that everyone wants, right? The final push higher, the final blow off of the grand super cycle in the indices, and then when we're down here, we can reassess everything. But this is, I still think we're in a sideways move on the dollar. I do not think we're just gonna peak in X and just collapse in the dollar. If that happens, then that means crypto is going to go like parabolic, guys, I think. And then Mara has bottomed. Then you're in a bottom. So I think it's like, to find out where Mara is going, you need to know where the dollar is going, you need to know where Bitcoin's going, and then you can like determine Mara and these other crypto, plays out there. Okay, so let's go to Anonymous, your question. Let's go to Neo. I have been keeping my eye on Neo. I want to buy it so bad, but I do, AEHR is a lesson in trying to bottom tick a fallen knife, okay? Because these wave 5s can just extend. We could erase divergence. It could just keep going down. So I really want to see a cycle end, let it bounce for a while, and then pull back and then buy it. That's a lot safer and a lot better risk management. So I want to see this wave 1 confirmation and pull it in wave 2. I want to buy here, even if I miss the low, because we're in uncharted waters, right? So yeah, I mean, the 5 could be done here, right? We bounced, but if this low breaks, the 5 extends, and then it's a 1-2. And then it just keeps going and keeps going, right? And then if it erases divergence, then this was a 1-2. And then what if it keeps, then this was a 1-2. It just kind of unravels. So I don't think Neo, there's no good setup in Neo anymore until we get a better bounce out of it. And then you can pull back and buy it against the low. But right now, I mean, I guess if you're really an aggressive on the long side, you could just market buy it here and put your stop loss at 370, right? Try to play that low. I mean, it could be, there's a chance, but I would definitely just have a tight stop here if I was going to try to play that. Buy it here, stop loss there, and then see what happens. And maybe you get lucky and it is a low, and then you can play that wave 3, 4, 5, and then for those of you that miss it, when we pull back, you can get back in at like 410, and then you have a safe entry for the new bull market, right? In this stock. AHR is just continuing to extend lower. It's really what a sad situation for the company. It is too bad, but it is a lesson in not trying to catch a fallen knife here, and we have seen this continue lower. I do believe that would be my 4. We're in a 5, so we should see another bounce and a failure coming. Let's check if we've erased divergence. And we have not. Let's look at the shorter cycle. We have not, so we're good. So I still think there's more downside, but what you want to see on the higher cycles is some bullish divergence play out like you see here as we go lower. On the daily, you want to see that bullish, but if you erase the divergence, then it's just going to keep pushing lower. It's just going to keep pushing lower, and then you know, but look, I mean, it could go, I mean, look how low it can go. I mean, it's got a lot more room to the downside. It's in the grand super cycle correction. So it's just, and it's just extending lower. Right here, this is what tricked a lot of traders because of the 1-2-1-2 setup on the downside. A lot of traders would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and bought it here or bought it, you know, and it wasn't ready. It's just not ready. It's just extending lower. BT, I hadn't looked at that in a while. Let's take a look at how that's doing. We still have our buy area here, and we are, you know, eventually we'll hopefully get there at 122. Yeah, just more downside. So nothing's changed here. Perhaps you get another relief rally, so be careful because of this could be a connector. So just, I would just say it's not really something I would want to go long. MIGI, we do have that. We did now the 5 waves. It's just, again, bearish, but there's your connector. We did go deep enough, so this actually it looks like we filled some gap here. So it looks like this actually looks like it could be in a bottom, maybe a better setup than any of the ones we've seen before. Yeah, we didn't get, that would have been a retest of the lows. So we do have that. We do have the cycle over. So yeah, this 83 cents is a pretty important pivot that has to hold. And if it doesn't, it will unravel. So I think we'll know soon enough if we can get this thing going. You know, left shoulder head, maybe get a right shoulder. We come out of this. So I think this is what I look like. So this one looks more bullish right now than the other ones. Like the other ones, like I think Mara is like yeah, it's gonna pump, but I think Mara's like a trap type one. This one may not trap. It may get enough separation potentially, and if that's the case, that would be nice. And then let's see, LTCN. How are these guys doing? So hit the buy area, and we got our rebound. So we probably are in the new bull cycle. So if you guys are following me, I showed this setup, and I believe that's where we are. So I believe we are now in a wave 4, 5. So we're in 4 off that low. So we should get a 5th wave and a pullback, right? And a pullback. But I'll just say this. We have seen could be a 1-2-1-2, and it just goes. So who knows? BTCG, same thing. It's taken a little bit longer to get out of this funky situation it's in. This looks like, though, 5 down, different than the LTCN chart. So let's take a closer look at what's going on here, bigger picture. Yeah, let me clean this up a little bit. Yeah, let's clean this up. So that's the first W. This one's interesting. I'll go back and look at the LTCN one more time. But this one looks like to be an A, a B, and a C. Remember, guys, the premium is high. I think this is like buying it here is like buying Bitcoin Cash at like $1,500 a coin. So what's that premium? What's that like that's why this is like, well, why won't it go up with the market? Well, it's already gone up. You know, it's already gone up. So watch the premium on these things. This is kind of a crazy premium. So I would look at something like that. So let's go back to LTCM one more time and make sure. Uh, See, this is different because it's 3 down here. See, this isn't 5 down. So this very well can go extend. Um, so the other thing this can do, yeah, so there's this is again, I don't know why one would be different than the other. I don't really care why, but they are. The charts are different. These plays are different. But you'll just have to like make your best decision. But I do think this has a chance of doing that more than, and then Bitcoin Cash I see going sideways, but then eventually doing the same thing. Now here's the thing: this X wave though, like Bitcoin Cash, could fool people, and perhaps it does the same type of price action. It does something like this, right? And maybe this is probably more likely, especially if Bitcoin pumps and then goes down in wave 2. So maybe I would say look for something like this. Looking at it, thinking about it more, something like this. But I do think eventually you come out of that to new highs. If Bitcoin dips to the low 50s, well, the problem is that these don't correlate to that. These have premium baked into it. So there's a lot of other factors that drive this price. These aren't ETFs that reset its price, so they're in some ways, because the premium can ebb and flow, you could see Bitcoin drop and these actually go up, or the other way around even. Bitcoin could rise and these can fall. Just, and if you don't know what I mean by the premium in these, you really need to look into that because you're taking a huge amount of risk. I do believe the premium in this Litecoin at 36 is like buying Litecoin at like $380, $400 a Litecoin. That's what you're paying Grayscale right now. There's that much premium in it. And what's Litecoin trading right now? It's not trading 300. So you are taking a huge amount of risk. But if you think Litecoin's going into the thousands, you probably don't care, right? And so what is the market really doing here? We don't know, but this is the chart, and the chart is showing this. But there is a lot of premium in this. So that means the behavior of the coin is going to be completely removed from, the behavior in these stocks are going to be completely removed from the coins itself and Bitcoin. And it's really kind of in limbo. So you just kind of have to trade the chart anymore. Something to think about. Okay, let's look again. I'm going to go back to that IDX one that I missed. I got that big super chat. Oh, long one on Oslo. So I'll go back to yours. I'll go back to yours because your super chat here. So let's go back to the IDX. Let's take a look at that different one on the Oslo. So this one, I assume it's this one. Okay, let's take a look. So maybe I gave you guys an IDX, meme coin play. Yeah, you see how it broke that low. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. So now what happens? Well, in these flat situations, the market tends to do two things. One, it could just unravel. The other is it does a bigger flat, where it does something like, and then collapse. But what all this means is when it breaks, any relief rally, no matter how extreme, is more than likely going to fail. Like, it isn't coming back up here, more than almost certain. So that's what that means. But what it does in the shorter cycle, it depends on this cycle here. And it looks like it's just 3 waves down. But we need to look at the bigger picture. And you see I have this bullish divergence here on the longer time frame. So this is a 5-wave cycle down. And then your wave 3 is somewhere here. So you've got, you've got this kind of 5 wave cycle down here, and it's finishing. So more than likely you have a counter trend rally coming, which means you're going to impulse and you're going to go lower. So yeah, do I want to buy it? No way. But when I look at it from a cycle standpoint, it in some ways you may have already started your counter trend rally to correct this cycle here, right here, with that break. It's a weekly cycle. We come up and then that's it. So perhaps I'd look to short this. Again, you got to be really aggressive trader to short it, but you could try to short it. Let's say it starts to rally at 361, $4. This could be a short area potentially right here. But you'll have to do what's best for you because shorts are dangerous. Short in a structure like this because it could easily squeeze and hit 6 or 7. But there is a chance, looking at where the weekly cycle is, that this is maybe where it can get to, and then you could get a real good unraveling of whatever has happened in here. But I would stop out for sure on the short because I mentioned it could also be this A, B, C structure, but I don't like it. Once you break down that lower low, just kind of like is not good. And then what was the other one I had here? Oh, SOLT. Okay, there you go. SOLT. All right. Yep, that was the one I saw. Broke the low here. Yeah, it's too bad because you're looking for. Well, I would say it's still not detrimental because the impulse starts from 0. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And again, 3 can't be the shortest. 30, 5, okay, 28. So that would be the shortest. So you can't even label it this way. So let's look at the flat potentially. Too big for a flat. So then I would have to label it like this. Something like that. Very unconventional. But I'd have to force it. But basically, to me, this is the cycle peak here. Here. And this is a flat correction. And we'd be looking for, lower prices for sure, but 75 cents. So you should have Fibonacci support around 75 cents. I'm thinking, just looking at this, but you'll have to do what's best for you on that here. Now, the one thing I'll mention, let's take a look. See, this is even too extreme there. So again, just kind of thinking about it some more. Yeah, I think you have to label it as a corrective move. So yeah, probably you're right. This is a go to 0-1. This is just a corrective sequence off this low. So that's what I think it is. Let's look at the shorter time frame, the higher time frames. Yeah, 5.29. So it would be nice to say this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but this would be the shortest. It can't be a 1, 2, 1, 2 because you broke the low. So you're by default then you're only left with is a bearish count, right? You're only left with like a bearish count, which is corrective, which means the trend's lower. let's see here. Let's go to the daily cycle. Yeah, it's a three-wave move down with a connector. So it's another. So it's moving in three-way. It's moving in like three-wave series. So that Y wave is almost bottomed out here. So yeah, I would look for a counter trend rally coming. I would look for a counter trend rally and another three-wave cycle, but it's going to more than likely fail, right? It's going to more than likely fail, you know. So it's just a real mess. Like I don't have enough. This labeling isn't clear enough to me. I'd have to study it more. But looking at this pattern in the RSI and where we are now that I kind of figured out where all the pivots are, I would expect some kind of I would expect this cycle to break and go higher in some kind of connector for this move, but that should fail more than likely and go lower. But yeah, here there's your connector here. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. So it's still got more downside coming a little bit, but somewhere in here we should see this bottom out, this three swing bottom out. Anyway, this one's a lot trickier. All right, let's go to some of the others. Donald, let's go to yours. Disney and Pfizer. So I did do Disney earlier, but I'll do it again since you gave me the super chat. Disney. So Disney looks like the rest of the stock market is in a flat correction right now. It has potential support at 105 or fill the gap at 100. We on the higher time frames, you are seeing the daily cycle break. It would be nice to get a full reset of the daily cycle here. So I do think it could continue lower, but I do believe we should find support eventually out of this situation. But you'll have to do what's best for you on this. But that's how I'd look at it right now. We'll have to look at that. Yeah, let me look one more time at the daily cycle here. Yeah, it's correcting the entire move. It's correcting the whole thing. And yeah, I mean, this is how I see it for right now. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's got some downside coming here. Especially if it falls back within the downtrend line, it'll be a false breakout. So there'll be a lot of panic. The momentum traders will be trapped, right? They're like, oh, it's a breakout, let's chase it. Oh, whoops, and then they'll dump it. So I don't know. That's how I see Disney. And Pfizer, again, you have to really believe in the long game on Pfizer. You have to really, got to hold that thing for a little bit to get it to turn. But it should turn out. I think very strong hands are buying it. Big money is buying it. In this type of move, again, the overlap in price action tells me it's the end of the cycle. It tells me the trend is counter trend now. So obviously you can see the downtrend, and now we're getting buyers. Eventually the buyers will take control of this. I have this shaded area here that's at 2465. To me, that's like the ultimate buy area. Like hey, this is like really, really a good area. And maybe that's where we get to the end of this wedge, right? Maybe we have to get all the way, like, I don't know when it will end, but right now it is in a buy area. But eventually we will come out of this and we'll get a major bounce to correct this whole decline or go to new all-time highs. Mr. Hand. All right, let's take a look at that one. Let's take a look here. This is PYRGF. Let's take a look here. So that's the low, right? It looks like it. So looking at it here, so you have to find your connector. So there's your connector wave. See, a lot of people would put it there, but that would be wrong. That's your, and then you also saw your peak, your RSI peak there. So this is your connector wave right here, in three waves. So now we're like, where's the Fibonacci support if you have any, and did we break it? So that was in here, and we broke it. So that's usually means it's an extension lower. So we're not going to see a corrective bounce typically when we see that. So AB 1, 2, 3, 4, one more low. So I think we need one more push lower. One more push lower, and then you can get a bigger corrective bounce back to 53 cents. So I'd be looking for that. Another push lower, maybe down to 19.36, 10 cents, somewhere in this area. And then I would be really careful on the short side because we should see some kind of bounce out of that at that point. But you'll have to do what's best for you. Okay, let's go to the next one here, Joe. Got a bunch in here. Let's see, ETN. Eden. Looks like it's been pretty bullish. We don't have this charted. So big picture, as you can see, there's your wave 2 low right there. 2009, 8. You've come up 3, 4, 5, 3 of 5, just like the indices. It's in wave 3 of 5 of the grand supercycle. But this is a hell of an extended fifth wave, though. I'll tell you that much. That's a hell of an extended fifth. That means there's a huge bear market coming for this company. A huge bear market on the horizon. But it's in 3 of 5. But it looks like to me it should continue to extend. The monthly, see, we didn't take out that monthly peak. Now, if we take this monthly peak out, this will become another one too, and this is negated, right? So we're close to negating, and this will become a 1, 2. So, but for right now, the data that I have, I'm looking at, looks like that. But you have to do what's best for you. And if this is an extended fifth, when it pulls back, usually it loses the whole fifth wave. So that means that's a pullback all the way back to 120 bucks. Okay, and then let's see here. Linde, I think that's Linde, right? L-I-N. Yeah. So we had this labeled a long time ago, wave 3. So we called this wave 3 if you've been following my channel a long time ago, and we're probably still in it. Let's take a look here where we are. So you see I haven't even taken this peak out of the monthly. So yeah, we're well, wave 3's got a lot more room to run. So wave 3 is still running. This would be buy dips in 3 waves. And this is the one, you know, this is one you want to keep an eye on. something like this. It's probably that, but more than likely it's just going to keep extending. I won't label it because it's just going to keep going higher, but I do think shorter time frame, you should look for some dip buys. Here looks like your connector wave is right around here. Right around here. So it's in a buy area right now for a dip buy. Looks like it's in a dip buy area. But like always, you have to use your stop loss. Do what's best for you on Linde, CEG, Constellation Energy. Not a lot of chart history here. So not enough chart history to do a proper analysis, but if I was looking at it, it looks like that's a 1-2 right here. And then this was another 1-2. Something like that. Then AbbVie. So we had that short here and it worked out. We broke the low. So now we're in a connector wave. So what happened is this connector wave extended up, but I'd still be careful with AbbVie here because the connector wave morphed into a bigger one. I still like it down in this area. So I'm just going to be patient and wait for it. There's no real setup. Maybe it's a flat now. Looking like maybe a flat coming in. Maybe 118. Because of this lower low swing, I don't like chasing it, or I still think this is the peak and it's in a correction and a very in this kind of complicated corrective structure. And we'll have to just wait and see how this plays out. So 185 was the short entry, so it just missed 185. So we'll see what happens. If it could take this high back out, it may negate this view. I'll have to look at it closer. Let's look at ANET. Oh, that one pulled back pretty good. Another one of these parabolic charts. There's your 1-2. Now see, you haven't taken the peak out, so we haven't hit 3 of 3 yet. You're like, what do you mean? Well, it's going to just keep extending. So this is another one that would just be buying the dips in 3 waves for now. I'll be labeling it this way. Yeah, this isn't good on the shorter cycles because, more than likely this weekly peak will hold. So we will pull back, but this should hold. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot more downside than what we have here, but there is no clear setup because you don't have that the three wave entry other than you could, the flat, which is probably what we're in. But like the indices, we need to get that 4 and 5. So I still think it will bounce. It could fail again, but this seems like it should be, this one has a lot more upside left in it. So maybe 239, 218 is where we can finally get to on it. And then we can take off in a real wave through 3 price action. All right. Let's see here. LRCX. Lam Research. Called that wave 3, it looks like. It looks like we got it. So more than likely, that's probably the 3 and the 4 playing out, right? bigger picture, where are we in this? Yeah, a lot more upside to come. So, but it's a major cycle should come to an end here at some point. Again, we're in some kind of flat that more than likely that this is going to bottom at any moment. It's in the buy area right now. All right, do what's best for you. I think I covered it all. Okay, let's go to Bowen. Yeah, Bowen's. I hadn't looked at it in a while, but I don't know if we lost Bowen on my watch list here. Okay. So we called this move, and it's been playing out beautifully. We broke the low. We're in this massive flat, but hey, this thing is going to bottom. And what did Bowen say? They're going to have flying cars? Is that what this is going to be about? Flying cars? Like I don't know, right? Are you going to drive a flying cars? I mean, so where's support? 154. And that's trendline support too. So you've got a confluence here, 154, right? 154. That's probably where, like, hey, I think it's been punished, beat up enough, but what do I know? But I do think this is the area. This is the area right in here, and then we should see a pretty big move higher for some reason. You know, the other alternative, of course, is it's super bearish, it just collapses. But I would just use your stops and watch those stops. But I do think we'll find support for a pretty good swing up, like we saw here. Let me go back through the super chats, see if I haven't missed one. So I've been on for about an hour and a half. It looks like I've got all the super chats. So I'll scan through the comments and wrap it up. So let's see here. And I'll go into the charts that I have charted already. So for speed, and if you really want something, I will take a super chat and go into it. So let's see. Coin. I know a lot of people trade that. It is in a buy area right now here. Now, we have 5 up. Could it keep going? Maybe. I don't know. Could it bounce and fail? Maybe. But I think this is where it should be. We should get a bounce here. IONQ, Sounds, Hounds. Yeah, they're just really getting beat up. But we saw that come in and got out of these catastrophes. I don't like it anymore because you have a huge connector for a 3-wave move that's going to unravel, and then you also have this top that just broke with a backtest failure, so I don't like it down. You know, wake me up when it's down in this area. And then Sound's just pulling back deeper, and like I said, it's in a C wave, a massive C wave. It is coming off the low. I do think it will find support eventually and go to new highs, but it's wiping people out that are trying to hold. And you do have this gap, right? So why not? We fill it, right? I can't target the entry anymore. Your risk management system, we got out of this a long time ago. But if you've been holding it, more power to you. I do think, though, it's going to come back down into this area. All right. We already did Disney and Zoom. I don't have those other ones. I don't do UAL, don't have that. Yeah, Solana, I have that chart. I'll show that. We called the top in Solana pretty well on this channel. I think when we called that top, I think we called it here. Let's see here. Maybe it wasn't Solana, but oh yeah, this isn't it. Sol. I was like, what the heck is this? There it is. Yeah. Look at that. Guys, look. I had this drawn out when we were up here, and you can check my videos. So we called this move perfect. Now, this bottom is in. But because this drop was so deep, we should have found support at 145. We didn't. More than likely, this bounce will fail at some point. So look for the three-wave connector. But like Bitcoin's probably going to be sideways a little bit. You know, sideways. Bitcoin Cash. I'll do the coin. I'll do actually the actual the actual thing here. So I have it in a 4-wave right now. I want to see this 5th wave. I want to see this 5th wave. We break this high at 722. Maybe we could get to 800, and then we should see a bigger pullback. That's what I'm looking for. Just like Bitcoin. Okay. Appreciate everybody. Yeah, SQQ will go up if the NASDAQ goes down, guys. And I do think if you watch my video on the NASDAQ, there's two things happening. It's either backtesting the all-time high, and then that's the low. I think if it backtests this, finds support, my guess is that will be the low, and then that's it. It's going. Now, if we can't do that, or we kind of end up short, then I do think you're at risk for a double correction, but more sideways like that, where you don't really make a lot of progress on the downside, something like this. And what will happen with SQQ, it'll be chopped to pieces. You'll be chopped to pieces in it. That's why I don't think the indices are a good trade, guys. I don't think they're a good trade. I don't think they're a good dip buy here. I think it's nothing here. I think it's just, you just watch it. You just trade individual stocks that show up on your screener. Like Nvidia's a long, guys. Nvidia's a long right now. Go, the SOXL's a long, right? Those have good setups for bounces. This is like I don't want to touch it right now. But I do think it looks like it wants to do this back test of the all-time high, which in some ways is pretty healthy for the market. You have a you break out, you back test, and you run. Now, if this back test fails, well, then that's a whole nother story, right? Then we're in a different situation in the market. But is it still the end of the world? Probably not. It just means the two's going to go deeper, right? Because we're trapped in this whole cycle. But we'll see what happens. Also, if this is a flat, you have 1, 2. You don't have 4 and 5 either. So it may bounce and fail, and then get back test and run out. But if we really rally hard, then more than likely we'll come back all the way. So it's just, we don't know how the market's going to behave. Can't predict the future. Lots of Dow type defensive plays start moving north again. Yeah, I mean, we tend to see that. Dow runs, tech weak, tech runs, Dow's weak. Rare we get them both to run or both to collapse, right? It's pretty, but that's, well, I think we're seeing that. Flying cars, no. Yeah, I don't know where I thought I saw it on CNBC or some shit, like they were going to build flying cars or something, but flying drones the size of cars that have AI. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Maybe that's its wave 3. Maybe they'll be selling that stuff to the government. Think about that. No, and then Boeing Maxes. Who gives a shit about Boeing Maxes crashing, right? Hey, we're selling weapons again and drones everywhere. So I don't know, but something bullish is going to hit Boeing pretty soon. Platinum should rally with silver. It's going to follow the same pattern. I don't have it charted. Oh, I missed. Okay, I'll go back anonymous and look. Yeah, let's take a look here, guys. Let me go back to anonymous and I'll end it if I missed something. Neo, AER, PT, MG, CG, Bitcoin. Oh, if Bitcoin dips, well, I already answered that. So let me look for another one from anonymous. And, oh, there it is. How high can MIGI go? Okay, yeah, let's see. How high can MIGI go? Well, we have to go to the bigger cycle, right? So, assuming that's... So here's the thing. More than likely, it wasn't in Bitcoin, right? Back in these areas, right? So you got to go when did it start getting into the Bitcoin foray? So that's where I would start with it. But I don't know the company that well. Is that what this thing does? Is it? It's Bitcoin. I thought it was Bitcoin or something, right? Yeah. Founded in 2012. So whenever it went into digital assets is kind of where I would say the cycle starts. But that's like saying, oh, MicroStrategy, they was doing shit way before Bitcoin, right? So you got to be careful with these charts. So it's really tough to say where it is. But let me look it up and see if I can just quickly find that on the internet here. Uh, MIGI. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know much about the company. See if I can get this here. All right, it became listed under the ticker, it looks like in September 30th, 2021. Okay, so that's where I would start this thing out at 2021, September. So right around, where are we? You know, right around here. So it probably came out here and then just puked down. So um, yeah, I don't know. It does look like it's going to run a little bit, but how? So if I was going to say if that's the start of the cycle, if it was going to go into a bullish cycle, I would be looking for it, maybe 167. And typically, we'll get a bigger pump than that even. Um, traditional chart analysis, 200. So somewhere around there. That's what I would look for if it's going to do that kind of move against this high. If it becomes a like new bull market, but because it's never been in a bull market since that event, I would be really careful that it just doesn't, fall short and then just go lower when the Bitcoin cycle ends. It just goes lower, and so looks like I got a last minute super chat here. Yeah, I'll try to do that. It's tough with my personal schedule. I try to do that on my Twitter channel. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's Elliot Wave Sage on Twitter, and you can follow me. And what I'll try to do is be a little as I'm getting a lot more followers now, right? I'm getting a lot more followers, a lot more people watching this channel, so I should do a little bit better there, and I'll do that. Yeah, so could the SPY go down? Here's the thing. The SPY never does what everyone expects. I'm hearing way too many people say it's going down to the 460s again and all this. And if only the market was that easy. So I would expect that not to happen. And then technically, more than likely, these breakout areas, it's not surprising to see a back test, right? To see a back test. But if these back tests hold, guys, I don't care what you're trading, whether it's crypto, whether it's penny stocks, whether it's Apple. When you see a cup and handle breakout and a back test hold, you're going into a bull cycle, guys. There is going to be no swing. So you got to keep an eye on that technical situation. Now, I would say if you do fail these back tests, then I think it could be worse than 450. I'll actually say it could be worse. I think you could come all the way back down here even. But I don't think we'll break this low. I think what will happen is you'll get a 1 2 1 2, maybe down 430 somewhere in this vicinity, and then you come out of it. That's how I look at it. But I think it's gonna hold. I just think it's gonna hold, guys. Looking at the individual stocks, you'll need a lot of stocks to collapse underneath the hood. I mean, if we come back down here, guys, you're gonna need, Netflix down 100, 150 points from here. You're gonna need Nvidia at 3 to 400. You're gonna need Apple at 120. You're gonna need Tesla at 100. You're gonna need a lot of stocks to collapse. You're gonna need Facebook at 300. Guys, you're going to need those things to happen. All of that has to happen, right? All of that. And then some of the weaker stocks are going to really get decimated that are already low. You're going to have Boeing probably below 100 by then. So it's just like it's just like the individual stocks. You got to remember, make up this index. So at some point, you could say, yeah, it's going to go down here. But to make it go down there, you need those stocks to actually drop. All those stocks I named. Adobe will need to go into the 200s. AMD will need to go below 100. If you're willing to bet all that's going to happen, everything I just said happened, then this is where we'll be right here. We'll be right here. We'll be right here. But if you don't believe that, then we will find support here and we'll come out and make new highs. So that's how it's going to be. So we'll find out soon enough. But you have to be ready for it. You have to be ready for anything. I could see, yeah, I definitely could see another high now. Some people are like, well, here, look, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get a big pullback. Is that possible? It's possible. It's possible for sure. But if that's the case, you have 5 up on the grand super cycle, which would mean the grand super cycle's over. If we get 5 up and we start pulling back like that, once we make a new high, we get 5 up, then you got to be careful of that situation. And then here you have 1, 2, right? 1, 2. So 3, 4, 5. So you still get another high. So yeah, I take that back. So you still need so even if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we end up here at 570 and pull back, it's still a 1, 2, 3, 4. We still get to 640, 680 later for the grand super cycle peak. So I still think we're coming here, guys. I still think we're coming here. It's just how we get there is going to be different, right? Different than what people think. All right, I'll just scan through the comments one more time. Thanks, Darth Buddha. Appreciate that. Yeah, get the word out. I'd like to get more followers. Maybe one day I could just do this. Do a small subscription service, give a lot more frequent updates during trading day, post trading ideas, real trades with entries and exit. Like maybe one day that's where the channel could head, guys. All right, that's all I've got. Good luck trading, and have a good rest of your day.